The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The Indian Ocean is boiling. Madagascar has just sent a shockwave through the diplomatic world by declaring a French diplomat persona non grata, ordering them to leave the country within 24 hours. This isn't just a political spat. It is the climax of a terrifying investigation into a plot to decapitate the Malagalese state involving foreign mercenaries and drop a bomb on the presidential palace. The tension has been boiling for years. They always do this whenever an African leader says no. But the breaking point arrived this week. The transitional government, led by Colonel Michael Randranarina, has gone public with evidence that would seem like a movie script if it weren't so dangerous. After Mali, Niger and Burkina, the next is Madagascar. According to the authorities, high-tech terminal drones have been caught buzzing over the presidential private residence. These weren't hobbyist toys. They were advanced surveillance machines capable of seeing through the walls, mapping the interior of residents to pinpoint exactly where the president and his family sleep. But why now? To understand this explosion of anger, you have to look back at how we got here. For years, Madagascar was led by André Rajoelina. Rajoelina was a man of the establishment, whose own father was a colonel in the French army. In late 2025, the streets of Antananarivo erupted. Protests over water shortages, electricity blackouts, and the rising cost of living turned into a revolution. As the crowds closed in, Rajoelina was reportedly whisked away by French forces, fleeing the country as his administration collapsed. In that vacuum stepped Colonel Michael Randranarina. He took the reins of power in October 2025, promising a refoundation of the country and a break from the old colonial ties that many felt were strangling Madagascar's sovereignty. But the old guard and their backers in Paris didn't go quietly. The Malagalese intelligence service have now exposed what they call a deep state conspiracy involving a former French national service man named Guy Barrett. Barrett is now sitting in the Tiafari maximum security prison, accused of masterminding a destabilization campaign that was said to ignite on April 18th. The plan was cold and calculated, used local accomplices like Colonel Patrick Ratomamoliji to sabotage thermal power plants and power lines, plugging the entire nation into a total blackout. Under the cover of darkness, they intended to incite unity within the army and launch an final strike on the seat of power.
Family, breaking news. Breaking news. Let's pay a quick visit to Madagascar right now. News coming in from Madagascar says that the government of Madagascar has declared a French diplomat at the French embassy in Madagascar over there a persona non grata, and they have given him 24 hours to leave the country. He has been expelled. Another French agent has been held and locked up, and all of these are in connection with the attempted coup d'etat we talked about on this platform a couple of weeks back. Remember, there was an attempt to bring him down, and they used those same drones again. They tried to use drones so they would drop their, so they would hit him from the air at the presidential palace. Unfortunately for them, the Malagasy army, the presidential guard, had always been on top alert, because they know that whenever any African leader decides to stand for the aspirations of the people, he is going to be a serious target. So that is what is currently going on in Madagascar right now. The Malagasy government, the people of Madagascar, especially the Gen Zs who brought into power Colonel Michael Randrianarina need to stand up and fight for their president. If not, something may go south, and we don't want that.
So we have some major breaking news. France is trying to destabilize Madagascar, and that has been confirmed by the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs inside Madagascar. According to the Malagasy Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they have decided that the embassy of France inside Madagascar is going to be closed immediately, and the agent is a persona non grata, has been chased out of the country indefinitely. Basically, according to this ministry, France, through their embassy, has been found that it has been destabilizing Madagascar, and it is planning on how it is going to destabilize Madagascar. Just for context, Madagascar was being ruled by a person who was half France, half Madagascan citizen. Just last year, the guy was removed from the country by a coup d'etat, and the country was taken by General Rajoelina. And from that time, we would believe that Madagascar has been facing a lot of challenges, only for them to discover that France was working through their agents to destabilize Madagascar, just the way they are doing in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And to end that, they have decided to close the embassy and chase away that person that was working in that embassy.
Authorities allege that as the nation descended into chaos, a strike was planned against Presidential Palace itself. They have everything planned. A literal attempt to wipe out the new leadership in a single blast. When the Malagasy Foreign Ministry summoned French Ambassador Arnaud Gallios, they didn't just ask for an explanation. They handed over the explosion orders for a diplomat they claim was working in the shadows to facilitate this coup. They will always go after leaders that they think aren't working in their interests. This is the same thing they are doing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. All they believe is the African mustn't own anything. They still want to treat us as if we are their own property. So for that matter, they will go to any length to make sure that they take out the leaders that they think are an obstacle on their way. For how long will we watch these people to be doing this? And these are the places we're expecting the African Union to act. But we only see that that so-called organization called African Union was never meant for us. Because if it was, we wouldn't have an ECOWAS chairperson telling the whole world how African leaders failed us at Davos and told the world they are protecting borders instead of protecting the people. And we can see clearly that these people are actually protecting borders. You would never see our leaders acting unless the border of their colonial masters are at risk. That is when they activate their standby forces. Look at what is happening in Mali. Look at the plan that they have planned to execute. And we have an organization that is watching. But the time has come for these people to understand that Africa is no longer their backyard. The resources that we have here must be used to benefit us. We will continue to fight for the total liberation of the African. Enough is enough. And why is it that people just don't want to understand that change is constant? And no matter what the situation might be, as Africans, a time will come, we'll all rise up. They never have plan B, that in case a day like this comes, all they believe in is the system that they have kept in place will continue to run. And as long as that system continues to run, we can never break the chains. And that is why they are doing everything possible to make sure every leader in Africa remains under the influence and the control of what they call democracy. Democracy is never for you and I. Democracy is never for the majority. It is for the elite. So if you, the person at the grassroots, think that democracy is to help you, you need to wake up. And some of us have the intention and the belief that we are okay because our leaders are good. There's no democratic elected president in Africa that is doing the right thing for you and wouldn't be targeted. Like Julius Maada Bio said, And his wife also said it, that anytime you see a leader rising to protect his people, they will come after that leader. They will use the opposition. They will do everything possible to turn the country into chaos. So if your country is not in chaos, I think you need to wake up and look at your president, look at your politicians again. Not because they are doing everything good for you, but because it is serving the interests of the people who have interest in Africa. We are the only ones that can set our source free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, Southern Africa, and in Madagascar.